everywhere. Know your rights.
This is the Bishop of Motivation, Spence Finlayson. I have a lot of friends who are CPAs. Now, we want to talk about how to handle it and bounce back from an adversity as a CPA. Whether it's a layoff, a failed project, being passed over for a job or promotion, or even being fired, most persons will experience a setback at some point in their careers. By taking the right steps, however, they can recover from these events and even come back stronger than before. John Rugger, CPA, he spoke about learning from failure at the 2017 EDGE experience.
This is the ZNS Network, providing radio and high-definition television services for the entire Bahamas. ZNS Network is operated by the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas. It is located at Harcourt Rusty Bethel Drive, Centerville, Nassau. Our programming is designed to inform, educate, and entertain. We invite you to join us.
The following is a preamble of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
Whereas 481 years ago, the rediscovery of this family of islands, rocks and keys, heralded the rebirth of the New World. And whereas the people of this family of islands, recognizing that the preservation of their freedom will be guaranteed by a national commitment to self-discipline, industry, loyalty, unity, and an abiding respect for Christian values and the rule of law. Now, know we therefore, we the inheritors of and successors to this family of islands, recognizing the supremacy of God and believing in the fundamental rights and freedoms of the individual, do hereby proclaim in solemn praise the establishment of a free and democratic sovereign nation, founded on spiritual values, and in which no man, woman, or child shall ever be slave or bondsman to anyone, or their labor exploited, or their lives frustrated by deprivation, and do hereby provide by these articles for the indivisible unity and creation under God of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas.
It's Wednesday, October 27, 2021, and the morning edition is live. On today's show, Parliament resumes. The National Security Minister responds to alleged police brutality. Air Ambulance give an inside look on their emergency flight services. And several new books are on the shelves in stores near you. So let's start the morning off right. Welcome to the Morning Edition. I'm LaDawn Davis. Let's now take you out to our streets where Kelsey Johnson and the morning traffic team is standing by with your Wednesday morning traffic.
Good morning, LaDawn. Good morning, Bahamas. We're coming to you live from 7th Terrace and Collins Avenue. Now, at this particular intersection, the traffic light is not working, and there are some minor road works taking place on the road. Now, joining me live this morning is Corporal Patrick Kemp, who will tell us exactly how to maneuver on this four-way stop, especially when the traffic light is down. Good morning, Corporal Kemp.
Good morning, Ms. Johnson, and good morning, Bahamas. Let me just first start by saying it's a great day to be in the land of the living, and we should be grateful. And here at the intersection of Collins Avenue and 7th Terrace, the light here is out. A lot of persons who have been tourists in this area would have known this already. I'm going to continue to say to those drivers, drive with due care and attention. And for persons who are not familiar, when the light is out at any intersection, junction, especially when it's completely out, not when it's flashing, that now becomes a all stop at that junction. And if it's a cross junction, it's a four-way stop, okay? What would have been the main thoroughfare now has been minimized because now it is at a four-way stop, and it's incumbent on the drivers on all sides to please exercise caution as you enter and exit from that intersection or junction.
Now, this particular road, the lighting is also poor, and like I said earlier, there are minor road works. So if you could just touch on how important it is, to make sure that you are paying attention while you're driving.
Well, and you would notice through the streets of New Providence and perhaps the other island, Family Island, you might come across some road works that are happening. Again, it is incumbent on you as a driver to be careful, drive with due care and attention. However, you may find yourself in a situation where you might not be aware that there is some work going on. I'm going to send a plea out to the necessary agency, Ministry of Works, or contracted officers who are doing a good job, by the way, and making an effort to make sure our streets and other works are done properly. To please be mindful that a lot of persons are caught off guard, and it can cause some issues, whether it's a traffic accident or damage to the vehicles. To please make sure that the areas remain well lit, or you have cautioned signs up for the motoring public.
Now, you also mentioned on top of the broadcast, failure to stop is a $250 fine?
Running the traffic light, it does incur a fee of $250, failing to stop in obedience to the traffic light. But a lot of persons may not be aware that also applies for traffic signs as well. We have a lot of persons that comes at these junctions, intersections. You may see a stop sign there. It doesn't say slow down. It means what it says, not to stop. Assess your way clear, and then you can continue on towards your destination. But if you run that stop sign, that also carries a fine of $250. All
right, thank you so much, Corporal Kemp. LaDawn, we'll toss it back to you in the studio.
And staying on the outside, a frontal trough meandering over the area will produce some shower activity while weakening and shifting eastwards as a dry air mass keeps mostly pleasant and very warm weather conditions in place across the majority of the island chain. High temperature today is 90 degrees with an overnight low of 75 degrees. Legislators returned to the House of Assembly today, the first time since the October 6 opening of Parliament, marking the start of the new government's agenda. Press Secretary in the Office of the Prime Minister, Clint Watson, gave this preview of the agenda.
Prime Minister Davis will be presenting in Parliament a communication that speaks to the reallocation of the budget. He's spoken to the fact that there were a lot of fines when getting into office, and recognizing that there were a lot of allocations that were pretty much done because of election. The government and the team has had an opportunity to revisit a number of the allocations and reallocations. And I can tell you in advance, startling revelation about the budget to the tune of millions of dollars in reallocations, and what we met and things that were not stated that we discovered were in place.
As kidnapping surge in Haiti amid political instability, Bahamian Foreign Service workers on the ground there have been instructed to leave that country. Foreign Affairs Minister, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says even though he was advised that everyone was safe and that there had been no incidents involving Bahamians, he decided to take precautionary measures.
Which said that the situation had returned, although not to normal. It was safe for our diplomats to go back. And we'd like to have the embassy open. We're the only ones from CARICOM are there, and the CARICOM community depends on the Bahamas for intelligence about what's going on there. Quite apart from our own intelligence, people in the Bahamas wanting to know what's going on the ground in Haiti. I felt, however, less secure about it once I started seeing the kidnapping reports and the issues of the demonstrations in the streets. There's been a strike going on for the last few days. So even though the report is that where our diplomats are in Petionville is safe, it seems to me that discretion is the better part of valor, and I've asked them to make preparations to come out as soon as that is possible.
An alleged case of police brutality again raising eyebrows about the conduct of officers on the police force. This after a video circulating shows a woman being choked by an arresting officer. It's a concern that's prompted National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, to urge alleged victims to take their grievances beyond social media.
To the time of me meeting with him before Cabinet today, he had no information that they had actually come in. I would stress to the public it's not enough to put something up on social media. Please come in, make your complaints and corruption, or make a criminal complaint.
Another batch of COVID-19 vaccines will arrive in the capital early next month. That from Minister of Health and Wellness, the Honorable Dr. Michael Darville, who reiterated that as part of pushing ahead with the countrywide vaccination campaign, the government is taking free testing to more islands and looking to make contact tracing and quarantine enforcement more effective.
We're expecting another 130,000 doses of Pfizer. The Bahamian people are coming out. We hope and pray that that continue. We also are planning to be in Naughty Luthra and then on to the Berry Islands with free testing and mass giveaways.
The Minister with responsibility for disaster preparedness, management, and reconstruction, the Honorable Miles Arruda, says the situation in Abaco remains dire post-Hurricane Dorian. His comments came after a ground assessment was done on the Northern Island.
That are working better than others. I viewed the dump sites in Green Turtle Key, also on the mainland in Marsh Harbor. With regards to some of the other outer islands, Moores Island in particular, the hurricane really ravaged that island. The dock that is there, the public dock, was actually rebuilt by the residents of Moores Island using reclaimed wood and reclaimed nails. The airport is not functional. As a matter of fact, the windows are broken and the nurses' clinic is in a horrible state.
And the University of the Bahamas welcoming back a familiar face. Felicity Humblestone has been brought on as UB's Associate Vice President of Development and Grants. Her responsibilities include establishing, cultivating, and sustaining relationships with individuals, corporations, and foundations to secure funding and support.
Everything is changing, and your favorite hardware and home improvement store is getting with the program. We Buy You Sell is rolling out its new online shopping feature. If you go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, it's a quick and easy 3-step process. Step 1, browse the gallery and select your item. Step 2, add to cart. And Step 3, check out. Go to our website, wbusbahamas.com, to shop with us today.
As an artist, I travel all over the world, and I find inspiration all around me. From the people, and especially the environment. I love the Bahamas with all its natural beauty. From Abaco in the north to Inagua in the south, and all the wonderful and colorful islands in between. But we must all do our part to keep the Bahamas healthy and clean, now and for the future generations. That's why I want you to find a little time to do your part. I'm doing my part because I care. Do you?
Dozens of COVID-19 victims have experienced a number of complications and are later airlifted to the capital for further medical treatment. But have you ever stopped to wonder what is the process like getting that patient safely to the capital for that health care? Well, we caught up with the Director of Operations and a physician on board those emergency flights to find out.
That call goes through our dispatcher, and our dispatcher would take all the information regarding the patient
When COVID-19 reared its ugly head here in the Bahamas in March of 2020, the Air Ambulance Services team hit the skies frequently, transporting ailing victims stricken with the deadly virus. While it can be quite an expensive undertaking, Director of Operations Captain Jason Sweeting says the team collects about 40 patients per month, with the largest patient weighing in about 300 to 400 pounds.
The aircraft has special stretcher systems, and we have loading ramps that we're able to safely put a patient in the aircraft. We have what we call a personal PIU, patient isolation unit, or people call it capsule or pod. That actually protects the patient and the healthcare workers themselves. Okay? We use that. We have stretcher systems. We also have whatever the needs of the patient are, we can accommodate.
Captain Sweeting says he's deeply concerned about the high volume of calls from distressed COVID patients from the islands of Abaco, Eleuthera, and Inagua. And based on the vaccination status of victims in the past, Sweeting, along with his colleague, Dr. Sergio Kerr, are strongly advising Bahamians to get the jab.
I'm vaccinated. I feel that the vaccine would help. For all the patients, like I said, we have flown. We've only flown one patient that was vaccinated that need to seek additional medical help.
Good thing is we have data from all over the world, and it's shown that the vaccine has decreased the amount of severe illness and the amount of need for hospitalization and death. So that's really one of my concerns. I'm vaccinated, and I also had severe COVID, so I look at it from both standpoints of things, and I think that if we have more increased numbers of vaccinated people, then I think the severe disease is going to be less, hospital admissions is going to be less.
But getting that shot in the arm is not the only issue that Sweeting says needs to be addressed. In fact, he says the lack of resources at the country's premier healthcare facility is a major challenge.
Availability of space in the capital. They had shortages, so sometimes patients would actually have to wait. It could be a few hours, it could be the next day. So that is one of the biggest challenges. We would be ready to pick up a patient, but you can't bring a patient in Nassau if there's no space.
While the world continues to battle with the coronavirus, cases of a rare sexually transmitted disease is popping up worldwide and has forced health officials to shift gears. Donovanosis is a bacterial infection described as flesh-eating because of the damaging nature of its genital ulcers and sores. Officials from the Center for Disease Control and Prevention say it's curable through antibiotics. Cases are on the rise in countries like India, Central Australia, the Caribbean, and Southern Africa. The bacterial infection is chronic and relapsing, meaning it can come back in people who are infected. Symptoms tend to appear 1 to 12 weeks later after someone is infected. These symptoms include sores, bulging red bumps that may grow in size, and the loss of genital tissue color. Meantime, more and more young creatives are coming forward to publish intriguing novels and books of poems in local bookstores here at home. Budding publisher and author Jaheim Wallace and Mariano Rigby Jr. stopped by our ZNS studios recently to talk about their new books, Call It What You Want and Bonfire of Dreams. Wallace says penning those books has been a long time coming, but he credits the support of family, friends, BUT President Belinda Wilson, and Bahamian songbirds Dyson Knight and Bodine Johnson for inspiring them to at least get a penny for their thoughts.
I was able to sell some copies and get it some places. It's available at Joseph's Bookstore on Soldier Road. Afterwards, it was a pause. Then Mariano got the highest English language PGCSE in 2019. So I went to him and I told him, I think we should do something in reference to a book. So he allowed me to read one of his poems, and I really liked it. Afterwards, he sent me poems periodically, and I would just take them and place them together. In 2020, the book was finished. However, the book had to be reformatted, and it was a pause because of COVID.
Meantime, Mariano Rigby says he was thrilled to play a crucial role in Jaheim's writing project.
I liked the idea because I always liked writing. I was always a fan of writing, and I thought that it would be a good idea. So I started compiling poems and let him read some, and he really liked them. So we formed a team as a writer and publisher duo. I have many inspirations, but it all started with my father, actually. He encouraged me one day out of the blue, and it encouraged my first poem, or inspired my first poem, Importance of Fathers. And then my other friends and family and teachers were all supportive, and I took from those experiences and also anecdotal experiences and compiled these poems together.
Meantime, the Ministry of Tourism is working hard to revive Grand Bahamas' tourism economy. Officials recently hosted a group of travel agents on a familiarization tour of that island. Here's Jamila Mizik.
The Ministry of Tourism continuing their efforts to promote Grand Bahama Island as an attractive destination to the international market. A group of 18 travel advisors from various travel agencies recently hosted here on Grand Bahama Island at the Viva Wyndham Resort. District Sales Manager at the Bahamas Tourism Office in Plantation, Florida, Felia Shiver says the familiarization tour of the island was a success.
We're excited to have them here, experience the island, what all the island of Grand Bahama has to offer, and that's one of our main goals in general, just generating business, new and immediate, to the islands of the Bahamas.
She says the agents were able to experience a number of activities on the island.
They were able to come over on the Balearic Caribbean, get that experience as transportation, just to see how easy and accessible it is from the South Florida market over to one of our closest islands, Grand Bahama Island. And what better way to sell the islands than to experience the islands? So they've been immersed in numerous activities, such as, swimming with the pigs, just to get an idea of what their clients can experience when they're down. The whole goal is for them to bring clients over, and what makes this group so special, they focus in the Hispanic markets, and they were very eager to come over and experience Grand Bahama, and that is awesome for us here. So at the end, we want all of these hotels packed and ready to go.
Olivia Tito of the Punta Cana Travel Agency based in Miami, Florida says they had a wonderful visit and are excited to return home to share their experiences with others in hopes of attracting more business to the island.
The agencies and the travel agents are going to be working on finding how they can conform a package, work on pricing, work on amenities offered, also trying to attract the Hispanic market by bringing, Punta Cana is trying to prepare combos with bring artists or someone to do some sort of activity here that will attract the market to come over, or possibly work with the Bahamian government to work on family reunification kind of trips, like people that come from Cuba, that the families will buy the packages in Miami for them, and they will come and everybody will have a great time here. Work on different avenues to sell the destination to our client base over there, which is pretty large. And right now they're focusing on other destinations, so we want to include this.
And as we head to the break, we take a look back at today in Bahamian history. On October 27, 1995, Prime Minister Hubert Ingraham opened the Bahamas Maritime Authority office over in New York. On that same day, the Ministry of Agriculture and Fisheries banned the importation of foreign bananas in a move to protect local producers.
Tourism supplies almost $50 million in revenue for Androsians every year. These priceless resources will continue to provide renewable benefits for thousands of people for years to come, as long as we take long-term action to preserve what's rightfully ours. The natural environment has played a vital role in our culture and economy for generations. Let's take care of nature, and nature will take care of us.
Sunday is Halloween, and the Aftershock Boxing Club will host a pre-Halloween event on Saturday. Keeping with the season, it's being dubbed Heroes versus Villains. This morning, we're joined by the event's organizer, Valentino Knowles. Valentino, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Good morning.
So talk to me a little bit about this event. What is Heroes versus Villains?
Well, it's an amateur event. We decided to put together, me and my team, for this upcoming Halloween. We're going to have some athletes competing. We are really mostly focused on some of the youth because, I mean, there's been a lot of things going on in the country, so we're really focused on the youth development program right now. So it was an interesting theme for the kids. They were very excited about it, and they loved it. They ran with it. So.
And can the fans expect something spooky at this event?
Yes, all of the fighters are going to be dressed in their costume, most of them. It's going to be a very fun, filling event. So I encourage everybody to come out and to support the Aftershock Boxing Club on October 30th.
And who are some of the up-and-coming fighters that will be featured at this event?
We have young fighters like Andre Bird. We have Christian Thompson. We have Tyrone. We have a heavyweight fighter, Eric. He's coming in from one of the islands. There are a few different clubs that's involved with this event, like the Major Payne Boxing Club, Southside Marlins Boxing Club. We have Bangers Boxing Club. So it's an open event to all of the boxing clubs that's here, and we intend to get all of them involved because we want to revive boxing, bring boxing back, give boxing a chance.
And what has training been like, I guess, for you in this COVID environment?
Well, we have been following protocols. We have been doing a lot of safety first. For us, it hasn't been easy because at one point in time, we were forced to train with limited capacity. We had to train outdoors, to get most of the athletes prepared.
And just before you go, give us the time and location of your Heroes versus Villains event.
The event will be held at the National Boxing Sporting Complex on Blue Hill Road at Celery Drive. The event starts, the first bout will be in the ring at 6 p.m. So, but last but not least, I would like to say thank you to some of the sponsors and some of the people that was there, and they came out and they support the show.
Valentino Knowles, thank you so much for joining us here on the Morning Edition, and all the best to you and your team on your event on Saturday. Thank you so much. And after the break, we're making some Halloween treats. You don't want to miss it. Keep it locked.
There's a spark of greatness in each of us. That spark is called personality. Individual gifts and talents provide the fuel to set that spark ablaze. Each child has the right to an education which values their personality and nurtures their talents, while teaching them to be respectful to their parents and their cultures.
One of the things that the church must be aware of, that this is no seat time and season for us to get so deep and holy that we can't hail folk who hurting next to us. We can't hail the people in our neighborhood. We can't see how hungry they are. We can't get too deep, brothers and sisters, and so anointed that we forget that if someone hurt you, you gotta forgive them.
Sundays at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
It's a part of all of our lives. ZNS TV is where we go for information, entertainment, and enjoyment. ZNS is there with something for everyone. ZNS TV, a part of our lives for 40 years.
Watching the ZNS Kids Club. My name is Kyle Jones. I go to one-on-one preschool and I love watching the ZNS Kids Club. Hi, I'm Toronto Fairview Academy and I love watching the ZNS Kids Club.
Cookies will be and cupcakes will be placed in the oven for Halloween this weekend, and I'm joined by baker herself, Denise Taylor. Denise, welcome to the Morning Edition.
Thank you.
So talk to me a little bit about how did you get into baking, first of all?
Well, I've always liked baking from a child, so I just kind of kept it going from high school and up. So it kind of calms me down, especially when you're going through a lot of stuff. It relaxes you, it's soothing. And then everybody says, oh, your treats are so nice. You should do it often. So I try to take it up to a full stream level.
So we're going to get right to it, though, because I see you have something on display for us. Tell us about how do you get these cupcakes looking the way that you do.
Okay, these ones are chocolate cupcakes. So they're buttermilk based. So they're nice and moist and soft.
Okay, you can open.
Okay. All right, so we're doing with the Halloween theme.
Okay.
So you want to take one out. This one's for you.
Okay.
And then this one's for me.
Okay.
So you want to open up your frosting. Just peel it off.
Okay.
Okay, so it might get a little bit messy.
Okay.
So you can open up your bag and spoon up a little bit. So you're going to do like a ghost face theme. Okay. So just get your spatula.
And just put it in the bag?
Yes. And this is cream cheese frosting, so it's a little bit soft. So once you put it in, just going to squeeze
all the way
it
down?
in. Yes. So you only need it a little bit.
Okay. I mean, a lot. I love sweets.
Okay, so once you've got it in, you're going to kind of like push it to the bottom. So all the air is out.
I put enough in there. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
But just maybe a little bit more, because all that's going to go in that tube there.
When you said a little, I was like, okay, that should be a little.
Because you want to have like a little
nice
bit of
little thing in there.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, that's perfect. I don't want it to be too sweet. Because I'm sure Agatha and Charlene would want to taste it. And yes, and Kanoshi as well.
Yes.
They enjoy having the ambiance of the sweets, yes.
All right. So with my own, you're going to do like a little, probably witch hat.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's kind of smooth. So you just want to take a little bit and you swirl it on.
But mine
so
is
it look like that. Because you need just a little bit more.
Okay,
Let me put a little bit more inside your bag.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's fine.
Is it, yeah, well, yeah.
Just a little bit.
Oh,
like
it's getting
that.
in there.
Yeah. Okay. We'll put that to the side. And then I'll smooth that out for you.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, that's going to be very sweet. Oh, wow.
Yeah. So you want to hold it like that a little bit, just so the air is out of it.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can swirl yours on like
a lot.
that.
That's a lot.
Okay.
That's a lot.
So that's your cupcake. This is your...
It smells good. It smells good. Okay.
This is your icing. You put that to the top for your little hat.
Oh, wow.
And then you can put just a little bit more.
What kind of cookie is that?
It's like an Oreo.
It's just Oreo? Okay.
Yes.
And
I
once
see
you eyes in there.
I do.
And
once you've done that, you're gonna put a little Hershey's Kiss on the top, just like that. And you have a little bit.
Where did you get that idea from? I mean, is it something that you just came up with for Halloween?
I just came up with it just a little bit. And then you can probably sprinkle like a little green around it, just so you can have like a Halloween look. I'll put them in like that. Mash
Now,
it
I know
up.
you also have a little business called Sweet Treats. Denise, Sweet Treats.
Yes,
talk to us about that.
it's Baked with Love by Denise.
Okay, so talk to me about that, and how has business been for you?
Business has actually been good. It's kind of picking up, because I also do...
Go ahead. Just tell me a little bit more about it.
I also do birthday cakes, cookies, little pumpkin rolls, coconut tarts, everything along the sweet treat section. Give you a little bit of sweet indulgence for everybody. So everybody just says, okay, what you have for the day? Because sometimes I have like days where I do bake sales along with my regular orders as well. So on Sundays and Wednesdays are pretty much the basic bake sales. So I just put up my flyer and everybody gets to pick up what they want. And then I also have the other order days. So I pretty much do it every day.
So what can you say is the, I guess, the most popular sweet treat that you love to get from you?
Well, they love the carrot cake. They love the chocolate. And what else? The pumpkin rolls, the red velvet is a seller. Yes, that one. That's the top seller, the red velvet and the carrot. And they love the cream cheese frosting.
Is it a lucrative business for you in terms of baking? Is it profitable for you?
Yes, pretty much it is. Furthermore, with the COVID idea kind of boosted up the sales. Unbelievable, I know, but yeah, during COVID, I got like a lot of sales. I was thinking, you know, people might not want to, but they did.
So we want you to continue to I guess, decorate for.
Okay, so that would be your.
And this is mine. Yes.
Which eyes? So you would want to pick. This would probably be a little bit higher, right?
Yes.
But that's the basic idea. So you want to pick which eyes that you would want to put on. So just get 2 eyes.
Okay, these eyes look like it could work.
And you kind of just put them in the front, a little higher.
Right here?
A little bit, yeah.
Right there.
So that gives you like a little goofy, spooky face.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay.
And then you can just do like a little dab so you can see the mouth. There you go.
Okay. And be sure to stay tuned into the ZNS Network for news as it happens, TV and radio updates throughout the day. Then you can tune into the Northern Edition at 6:30 and the Bahamas tonight at 7. And that's a wrap for us this morning. For the entire team, I'm LaDawn Davis. Have a great morning, everyone. We're going to continue our cooking.
You're watching the ZNS Network, the People's Station.